Well, basically, I was active young IV drug user, and I just happened to come across NYHRE because it's a street side service, so they give out syringes in the streets. I like the way I was treated. I was treated pretty with respect. People weren't stigmatizing me, and I learned how to stay safe and how to, not share syringes, not share cookers or waters, and that pretty much kept me healthy until I decided to go to the next level of change in my life. Inside of me, even though I was living and surviving on the streets, I always wanted to help people. I just didn't know exactly how that would pan out until I started doing the harm reduction peer program. It was specific for me because I was going through withdrawals at the same time that I'm trying to help people. And it was kind of funny because here I am feeling horrible and people are coming to me and I'm not focusing so much on how I'm feeling, I'm focusing more on what I could do for them. And that's a foundation that I hold to this day. And I think that's what makes it important. It's part of my life, it's part of my history, and it's, the people that come to me are my people. That's a reflection of who I am. So that's why I do what I do, and that's why we go out to the street and we go out and we engage people right in the belly of the beast is where we call it. And if it wasn't for us coming out here, people wouldn't have access to these services. We're going to reach people that other places are not willing to come out and reach.
My name is Axel Barboza. I work for New York Harm Reduction Educators. I'm originally from Paterson, New Jersey, but I've been in New York for over 15 years now. I'm a driver and I'm an outreach specialist. Generally what I do is I go to sites, I oversee the sites. We have a lot of people who come. We're going to do acupuncture, syringe exchange, some education, Hep C testing, HIV testing, referrals, and a whole lot more. I could probably sit here for about an hour and tell you all the things we do. Whatever a person chooses to do, we'll support them. All we want them to do is to use in a safe manner, just, to stay out of danger, I've seen a lot of people overdose and die, and it's a shame. It's an illness, And they wouldn't I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let people with other illnesses just die or say they deserved it because of their illness. So, everyone's a human being. A life is precious, no matter where you come from, who you are, what color you are, what sex you are, Everyone's a person.
NYHRE was born out of the ACT UP movement, which was the HIV activists, mostly gay men, who were fighting for the rights of people who were infected with HIV. NYHRE was really born from that movement and in 1990 became a legal provider of syringes. And it has grown into what is now the largest provider of clean syringes in New York. We have a drop-in center here where we have support services on site, and we also have mobile exchanges that are located across East Harlem and in the South Bronx. The thing that we really focus on is making sure that people who are drug users have the opportunity to be trained and given opportunities for work. There's very few spaces that you can actually occupy if you are an active drug user. So there's always been this sort of historical narrative where we'll help you if you want to get off drugs, but while you're still using, we don't want to really touch you, we don't want to help you. NYHRE gives love and hope and space to human beings, and the fact that they use drugs or not is not what defines them. And not because we're celebrating drug use, but because we're trying to celebrate people, to give them hope and to really listen to them and meet them where they're at so that we can help them.
NYHRE is like the best thing that ever happened to me. One of the reasons I come to NYHRE is because I have the virus, and I love it here because it accepts anyone. Whether you have the virus and whether you don't, whether you're an addict or whatever the case may be, you're still welcome here, and we can do groups. And the one group I love is the one with the instruments. Start this motherfucker now.
So we serve very poor people, primarily, people who are either homeless or struggling with housing, a lot of people with so-called mental illness. What we see the effects of is racism, classism, and the deliberate destruction of community and family. And that's what we really see when people sort of lose their bearings. There's no attachment to the unit of family. What we do by creating ceremonies, we create family. We create connections. We go right into spirit, right into soul. We want to know who you are inside and change the narrative. Drug user, it's such a generic term. That's a mantra that is repeated day in and day out, day in and day out. And that's what we'd like to try to interrupt that conversation. Actually, you're a contributor. Actually, you're a creative. You're an artist. You're a dancer. You're a healer. You're a poet. You're a friend. You're a mother. You are so many more things than HIV positive, sex worker, drug user, formerly incarcerated. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. You are so much more than that. I think that the most important thing about harm reduction is love and delivering love and receiving love. And that's the healer.
Qigong and Tai Chi, I actually started practicing that about 11 years ago when I was going through detox from methadone. I learned the first few steps I learned from a counselor because I was going through methadone withdrawals, and he taught me some breathing exercises and some movements. And I practiced them until I practiced those particular movements, and I took some classes until I met Sifu. When I met Sifu, I told him, I do acupuncture, I do auricular acupuncture. And he said, really, what did you do? I said, in harm reduction. He was like, we're the ones that started that. I'm one of the young lords. And I was like, it was like I met my hero.
I became a young lord after I came back from Vietnam. So during the time that I was in Vietnam, that's when they took over Lincoln Hospital. Lincoln Hospital at that time in our neighborhood was known as the butcher house. Going to get medical treatment, and they treat you like, you're a lowlife or some kind of animal, So that's when, got together at that time, and they took over Lincoln Hospital. And they started treating people that, needed help. They called us communists, they called us socialists, they called us everything in the book except for what we were really doing, was getting, people's rights, our rights, to be treated like human beings, like everybody else, We just wanted to be treated like humans, that's all.
He's like the granddad of holistics in NYHRE. When he comes, everybody's happy. He's got a lot of experience. He's been practicing martial arts for over 50 years, and he's got a good heart. And he's about the community. He's a community activist. They're some of the original community activists before NYHRE even began. The Young Lords and the Black Panthers were fighting for the rights of people in these communities way before we got here. So that is a privilege to be his friend. Is an honor to be in his presence, and our participants love him for that.
I saw that they was continuing what we had started, so I decided to start coming around and volunteering and helping out. At the same time, taking advantage of the services myself. I was also I'm a Vietnam vet, so Wang was dealing with veterans, and so I said, let me tag along. So it helped me out too.
What we do is we're unique, that we combine holistic health with actual harm reduction, right? So holistic health and harm reduction go hand in hand. So people actually come in for clean syringes, but at the same time, once they access their syringes, they'll come to get acupuncture, right? They might want to do a one-on-one Qigong session with me. They might just want some information. I could line you up with a group of participants that know every Qigong exercise, what organs they're for, and each step by step. And these are active drug users. These are people that go out in a group into the park, and we go out into the community, which the community sees nothing but a bunch of drug users that are no good in the park. So now we're having this connection to the community, and they start asking questions. They start asking questions, not to me, to the participants. We're giving people access to this. We're telling people, and we're showing people that you too can have holistic services. You too deserve to take care of yourself. Not just people with money, and not just people that don't use drugs. Everybody deserves to live healthy.
My name is Lucretia Boyd. I'm a peer specialist at New York Harm Reduction Educators. I work in the data department. I come from a family of drug addicts. HIV and AIDS has wiped out the generation before me. All my aunts and uncles. It took my mom, you know. I kind of wish that my mom could see what I do, could see what it's like to go somewhere where nobody judges you, that you're accepted as a human being, because that's what we do here. NYHRE is the place where you can come and you don't have to worry about the stigma, the shame. We meet you where you at, and then we help elevate you. I wake up every day knowing that I get to make a difference. It's this place of camaraderie and non-judgment and fellowship and trials and tribulations, but it's a family for me.
You know, NYHRE is very important to me because I probably wouldn't be alive today. You know, my whole life changed when I came to NYHRE. I was reconnected to being a human being. I was reconnected with my family. I was reconnected with my community because of my drug use being demonized and demoralized. All of that was taken away from me. And coming to NYHRE, coming to the groups, having one-on-one sessions with case managers, all those things that were taken from me was built up again in me. I felt human again. I felt like a person. And I'll never forget that. Coming into these doors and being called Terrell instead of crackhead, a junkie, you know, it made a difference for me, you know what I'm saying? To be just hear somebody calling me by my name, that made me feel like a person again.
What NYHRE means to me is health. We're about keeping people healthy. We're about education. We're about, you know, we're about advocating for drug users, advocating for people who've been stigmatized their whole life, people who society have pointed the finger and said, you're no good. Well, we're about telling people that they are good. And we're about showing the world, showing the community that drug users are just as important as anybody else, and we deserve the same rights as anybody else. And we deserve to live healthy. We deserve to have homes. We deserve to have jobs, you know? So it's just, yeah, that's what NYHRE means to me. NYHRE means to me the fight against stigma and the fight against injustice.
It means a lot to me because it saved my life, you know, so it's a place where people can come where they're safe, you know what I mean, and it's like a group of people that really cares about the community, you know, and it's like a real big group of people that wants to help, that wants to make a difference, you know, and that's why we come here every day, you know.
The best part of this job for me is the community, the people I serve. Or actually, the best part of the job is the community, the people who I exchange energy with, because they serve me just as much as I serve them. So to be part of that, to be able to, you know, walk down the street of this neighborhood, which now I live in, and people greet me on the street and say hello and give me a hug, and I know them and I know their story, and they know me and they know the story, and we've danced together and we've done ritual together and we've gone for walks together and we do chai chi together. To be a part of a growing, vibrant community is the best part of this job. I get to wake up every morning and come in here and do something I love with people I love, with something I believe in. You know, to me, it's like, I can't believe it. I can't believe I get fucking paid. I can't believe it. Maybe don't put that in, because I want to continue to get paid. But that's to do something I love every day with people who the best people in the world to me. I don't want to be, I'd rather be with you know, folks here than anybody.
Somebody tell me, don't come to NYHRE. No, I'm coming to NYHRE to learn something, do what I have to do. And I love it, and I feel it, and I make myself to come here every day. Because if it wasn't for y'all, I would not be here today. And then, you know what I feel like? I feel like I love everybody, and it's the way I feel. I feel energy, I feel life, I love my kids, I love life. You gotta live your life. Everybody! Yeah!